The floor is yours.
Thanks. And first, let me start off by saying it's a pleasure to be here tonight. We really appreciate what the coaches in this state do and the coaches around the country do, helping develop these young men. So anytime we get a chance to come and give back a little bit, it's always good. And just really appreciate Mike Loxley and the vision he has for our program, the vision he has for our staff, and the vision, he's always very super inclusive about having high school coaches have access to our program. And so appreciate you guys. And it's a pleasure to be here. And it's an honor to represent Coach Loxley and the things that he's doing here at the University of Maryland. So with all that, I'll get started. These Zoom things are a little weird for me still. I haven't gotten used to them yet. I prefer to be in person with people, but we're going to talk about quarterback development tonight for a little while. Hopefully we can save some time at the end and see if anybody has any questions about anything. But before we get going, I guess I'll give a little bit of my background. I am from Detroit, Michigan. I played my college football at Michigan State. I was a quarterback there. I was a 2-year starter. I played 86 through 90. I was a starter in 89 and 90 there. And then when I finished playing, I was destined for coaching. Was not near good enough to continue to play after that, but I became a graduate assistant coach at Michigan State in 1991. And I've been in college football ever since 1991. So this is my 30th season. This year being involved as a coach. My first 3 years I spent as a graduate assistant, and then I started to make my rounds. I coached at Division III. Lakeland College was my first job. I was a quarterback coach and an offensive coordinator in my first job. I was offensive coordinator at Northern Michigan after that. And then I went to Southern Illinois, where I coached quarterbacks and receivers and called the plays there. And then I went to Missouri State, where I was offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, and coached quarterbacks at Western Michigan. North Dakota State, I was the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach there, and went to University of Cincinnati with Mark D'Antonio, coached quarterbacks there. And then I went to Michigan State, and then I became the head coach at Central Michigan. And then I was there for 5 years as the head coach, and then went to University of Arkansas as a coordinator, quarterback coach. And from there I went to Alabama as a quarterback coach in 2018, where Mike Loxley and I hooked up. Coach Loxley was the offensive coordinator in 2018, and I coached the quarterbacks. And then 2019, I left there to go to the University of Miami, and I was a quarterback coach, coordinator there. That didn't work out very well. And then went to the University of Cincinnati again for my second stint in 2020, and had just a great, phenomenal year with Coach Luke Fickell and his staff. And I was actually the associate head coach, running back coach there, but we had an undefeated regular season, won the American Athletic Championship, and then Coach Loxley hired me here. So here I am, and I gave you all that just to kind of give you my background, that I've been a quarterback coach and involved with quarterbacks almost the entire time of my 30 years of coaching. So what I'm going to talk about tonight is some things that I've gathered through the last 30 years. And I know there's a lot of different ways to do things, but we have a philosophy in how we coach the quarterback. Mike Loxley and I are hip to hip on how we do it. And there's a lot of things that are involved with coaching quarterbacks on the field and off the field. We'll get into that, but a lot of these things here tonight in the next 45 minutes or so, I'm going to give you guys are things that I've kind of accumulated and come up with over the last 30 years. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this first section here. Tim, if you can put that next slide on. And what this is, guys, is this is kind of our creed, our quarterback creed. When we start spring practice, I take about an hour or half hour to an hour, and I go through this with the quarterbacks. And then when we come back for fall camp, I take 45 minutes and I go through this with the quarterbacks. And if any time during the year, during the bye week, if we have time, I might take 20 minutes and I cover this with the quarterbacks. And to me, this is what I feel is really what the essence of playing quarterback is. So I'm going to kind of read this out loud, and then I'm going to get into a bunch of other things that will all make sense as we get going. But this creed that we have, I think is very, very important. And again, this is 30 years of me coaching the position and kind of, 1 year changing this and adding that. And again, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but this is kind of my philosophy and what I think it takes to play this position. But there's no game as demanding as football, no position that demands more from playing as does quarterback. And these demands are not only physical, but emotional and mental as well. And there's going to be a running theme throughout this talk tonight, and that is that quarterback development really entails 3 areas. There's the physical development, the emotional development, and the mental development. And I firmly believe that those 3 areas can be developed and should be developed year round. And there's things that I've learned from every year that I've coached in different rooms I've been in with different guys. But this is a really difficult game to play, and quarterback is the hardest position to play. And in 1989 when I played, compared to what we ask the guys to do now, it's just phenomenal, the difference in what we ask these guys to do. And I think it's awesome. I think it's great the way the game has changed and evolved, but certainly it's a very difficult position to play, and it takes I think again the very demanding physically, emotionally, and mentally. Many important factors combine to establish the quarterback effectiveness. One of the most important is your psychological approach, since it will directly affect what type of intensity, desire, and commitment you have. Intensity is a word I use a lot with these guys, and as I explain to them all the time, intensity isn't really like like a linebacker would be intense in a play or a game, but more of mental intensity. Like even when we have walkthroughs and we have situations in practice where we slow things down, the quarterback, in my opinion, we have to keep his sense of urgency high, keep his mental intensity high at a game level as much as we can, because the more we can do that in practice, the easier it will become in a game. So that's very, very important to us. Obviously, the desire you have and the commitments you have combined. If you're not all in and want to be a great player, it's going to be very difficult to be a great quarterback. I mean, it's just like getting into coaching, as we all know. There's not like, you don't just kind of get into coaching. You're either in or you're out, and if you either can't live without it, or you're going to go find something else to do. And I really believe that about playing this position as well, the desire and commitment that guys have. To be at the top of your game and make this team a championship contender, you must make a personal commitment to excellence. I've never been around a guy that was a great player that didn't want to be great, didn't want to be coached. I've coached guys that we all recognize their names, and recruited guys we all recognize their names. And I've coached guys that nobody will know who they are, but they still had that same personal commitment to excellence and were outstanding college quarterbacks, whether it was at a Division III school or whether it was Brandon Allen at Arkansas, who's with the Bengals in his 6th year, or Cooper Rush at Central Michigan, who's in his 5th year with the Dallas Cowboys, and obviously Tua and Jalen Hurts. And I've been very blessed and fortunate to coach a lot of these guys that have gone on to play. But there's a lot of, they're all different, but there's a lot of common characteristics that these great quarterbacks all have. Your willingness to sacrifice on and off the field, develop good relationships with your fellow teammates will ensure your acceptance as a leader. I tell these guys, talking about leadership is always lead within your personality. It doesn't mean you have to be well-liked or the class clown or have to lead outside your personality. But yeah, I do think you have to go outside, maybe if you're not outgoing, but you have to find ways to get to know your teammates, and whether that's with defensive guys, whether having lunch with them or just talking to them in the locker room. But I think obviously just you carrying yourself in the right way every day in the building, coming in early, staying late, treating people with respect, having a blue collar humble attitude about you, I think will endear you to your teammates. We have a saying around here is that we don't want any celebrity quarterbacks. It's really big to me, is that I don't want to, like I said, you guys are already celebrities when you walk in the door. People treat you differently. The rest of the team, some of the team resents you already because you're a quarterback, and they don't think you have to go through the same things they do. And I said, so we really have to go above and beyond the call of duty and make sure they know that we are hardworking, blue collar, humble guys. that we're willing to do anything that they're asked to do, and even more if we can. So no celebrity quarterbacks are allowed. The desire to win is not enough. Many people have the desire to win, but few are willing to pay the price for success. Winners must be both diligent and tenacious. Everybody wants to win, but you got to prepare. And I'm going to get to this later in the talk, but the preparation that it takes to play well on Saturday, it's difficult, it's hard, it's not easy, and it's not for everybody. Practice the habit of winning. Always focus on why you can win, never on why you can't. Nothing could sabotage a team or a game plan quicker than, after a Monday or Tuesday meeting, a quarterback walking down in the locker room and saying, "Ooh, man, this game plan is bad," or "Man, I don't know how we're going to beat these guys," or you're beat before you get started. So I think just constantly talking to your quarterbacks about the positive attitude and focusing on, we're playing this team. They've got really good pass rushers, but we're gonna counteract that with run and draws, and we got good screen game, and we're gonna make this end. We're gonna run zone read. And if you can't block them, let's read them, and whatever that is that you're gonna do philosophically as a team. Kind of Jedi mind trick your quarterback, and then he can get the rest of the team on the same page. Championship attitude is not something you can be turned on and off. Must be practiced until it becomes a part of you every day. Things I talk about with these guys are no practice shots, all game shots. Even when we're throwing routes on air, when we're warming up, we warm up with a purpose. We have a specific target we hit on every throw when we warm up, and making every day, every rep, every practice, so it becomes a kind of a part of their DNA. In order to become an accomplished championship quarterback, you must strictly control the following factors. First thing is discipline. And, I got this not from me, but from somebody else, but I heard it a long time ago and loved it. But you must determine what you have to do it when it has to be done, do it as well as you can, and do it correctly all the time. And that's discipline. So whether you can apply this to every aspect of your life, whether it's your academics, whether it's your athletics, or whether it's your social, whatever it is, but you got to figure out what you got to do. You got to get it done when it has to be done, do it as well as you can, and do it that way all the time. Attitude is a big thing. I talk about these guys is the way you look at life. If you want a positive attitude, avoid negative thoughts. Again, focus on why you can win. Like come into the meeting room every day and be positive and bring other people with you. And, be infectious. Commitment involves more than anything else dedication. And dedication is essential to accomplishing goals. And we goals are real big with me, and I'll get to that a little bit later as well. Next page, Tim. Preparation. Here we go. You must have a no-nonsense, focused demeanor at practice and treat all practices as game situations. I'm big on this. We have a saying. We say JWMF. It means just win Monday through Friday. And so we try to turn the heat up Monday through Friday, from a mental standpoint, a physical standpoint, from a sense of urgency standpoint. And so when we do that, I feel like it makes Saturday easy. So we at practice, we have fun, we have a good time, we enjoy competing, but we're focused, and we try to treat them as games. And that's to me, when you got a 3rd and 4 in practice, you got to treat it like it's 3rd and 4 in the 4th quarter of the championship game. And I know it sounds like overkill, but when you treat practice that way, the games are going to become easy for you. You must prepare yourself thoroughly. Your preparation must exercise the mental, emotional, and physical aspects of the game. There's those 3 areas again that are going to keep coming up. I believe that this game is mental for the quarterback. The development is mental development, emotional development, and the physical development of the game. And the preparation that we have for this quarterback must include all those 3 areas. And then perseverance, never quit. Champions give everything they have, plus 1 is more. I always ask them, how good do you really want to be? I mean, how good do you really want to be? Do you want to, be an All-American? Do you want to be all Big Ten? If those are your goals, then you need to commit to them, and you must persevere, because there are going to be ups and downs, especially playing this position. And everybody that's played the position, they go through them. So next one, Tim. Okay, qualities that we look for: toughness, we talk about. physically, mentally, be the toughest guy on the team. I'd say some of your teammates may laugh at that, but physically, you got to be able to stand in there and take a hit and deliver the football. And there's just not look at the rush, and there's a lot of things that show how tough the guys are that are really good at this position, and then mentally being able to withstand all the things you have to, and in a competitive game, the things you got to go through is very important. Leadership, give direction to the team. The team will reflect your attitude. I firmly believe that you're going to hear me say coming up, the spirit of the team comes from its quarterback. And I've seen guys just by a great scramble or a great play or just their sheer grit, determination, will, and their attitude, lead teams to win. And I've been around places where we've drug the team down because we didn't have a guy. So I've seen it on both spectrums. Lead by example, be the hardest worker on the team. This really takes no ability. You don't have to be a rah-rah guy. You don't have to be a yeller or screamer or a calling the guys up and giving a long speech at the end of practice. But you do need to lead by example, be the hardest worker on the team. You need to work in the weight room. You need to work at your preparation, your film study. You need to work in the drills. You need to work when no one's looking. You need to come in early. You need to stay late. You need to set the tone for the entire football team. And then the spirit of the team comes from its quarterback, demonstrated. Intensity. We talked about this, but your concentration cannot be broken. Sending your attention on the appropriate things. We have a lot of walkthroughs and stuff. I just think it's important that if your quarterback is loosey-goosey too much and walkthroughs and forgets to send a guy in motion or doesn't get the right check or opens the wrong way, just sends a bad message right off the bat before practice even starts that we are really, really not, from a mental standpoint, ready to practice today. So I use the term mental intensity, and to make sure, again, we don't have to be, completely locked and loaded, full speed on our drops and all that. But man, we're focused on the right things. We're sending the guy in motion. We're opening the proper way. We're going through our ball fakes. Our eyes and feet are going through our progressions on the plays and walkthrough. Show me where your eyes and feet are going. Just little things like that, I think. And that sends a message to everybody on the team too, when the quarterback's doing that. Give your top effort on each and every play and every practice and game. Get better with every practice. You never stay the same. That's an old saying, but I believe it's true. And we really push our guys in practice. I always have as a quarterback coach. I got pushed when I played. I had a great quarterback coach when I was in college. I had a great quarterback coach in high school. My high school coach was an outstanding quarterback coach. He was on my fanny 24/7. I got coached harder than anybody on the team. And when I got to college, I got coached harder than anybody on the team. And I appreciated it. And it made me better. It was hard at times, but that's how you grow, going through tough things. So I really believe in really demanding these guys practice perfect. They're never going to practice perfect, and I tell them that. But boy, I'm not going to settle for anything. So we're going to hold them to that standard every day. That's my job. Confidence, inspire confidence throughout the team. This is done by being prepared. I'm a big believer in this, as well as that confidence comes from within. Confidence comes from, you want confidence throughout the team that from your teammates. Well, they listen to you getting coached. And if I'm constantly correcting a guy, like wrong read, that's not your drop. Well, where are we supposed to go with the ball? How come you didn't flip the running play there? Well, the rest of the team is listening to this in practice, whether we all like it or not, and they're losing confidence in the guy. And if I'm saying, hey, nice check or great job or good read or I love your feet there or man, it's a nice job coming down to your back, we're going the other way now. We're building confidence with our team. And really, this is just done by the quarterbacks being prepared for practice. And I take a lot of pride to make sure that they're prepared for practice. That's my job. And if they're not prepared for practice, man, I go in the tank. I take it personally, and I try to come up with a system throughout the years that I've coached that allows them to get ready for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday practices. And I try to do my very, very best to make sure when they walk out, they're prepared mentally, physically, and emotionally for that. And I think if you do that, they got a chance on Saturday. So it goes back to our just win Monday through Friday philosophy. Believe in yourself, believe in the team, and believe in the coaches. Very, very important that you obviously believe in yourself first, believe in your teammates, and then obviously believe in our staff. And we'll certainly, reciprocate that and believe in you as well. Poise, another big one with me. You must perform regardless of the circumstances. At your poise, especially playing this position and you're in hostile environments. And this is done just in practice, just with, you got a period that's not going well. The defense is getting after you. The defense is hooting and hollering, and guys are yelling at each other, or coaches are upset, or whatever it is. I want to see that quarterback at this moment. I want to see him gather guys up, stay poised, keep us cool, and get us to the next play. And as we all know, a lot of times, man, changing momentum and changing the course of a game can come down to just that next play and somebody doing what they're supposed to do. Your every action demonstrates your poise. So body language, we're big on this after a bad throw or a misread or a drop ball, not throwing palms up and doing those types of things. But again, just your every action demonstrates your poise, and you have to again keep it cool. You got to remain like a coach. You got to remain calm, and don't let people see you panic at all. Next, Tim. Football intelligence, be an avid student of the game, study and work hard to give yourself knowledge and the ability to perform well. I mean, when you walk into a test and you have the answers, you feel really good. If you studied, if you walk into a test you haven't studied for, you have anxiety and you're nervous and you have doubts. And to me, that's what my big thing is doing so much during the week that when they walk in the stadium on Saturday, they don't have anxiety or fear or doubts. They may have a nervous because they're competitive, that competitive nervousness, which we all have, but no doubts and no anxiety, because you know what, we're prepared, we're ready to go, and we've done everything we can through the course of the week to be ready, to get ready. Possess a proficient knowledge of your offense and the opponent's defensive strategies. Learn what you're doing inside out. Don't get bored with details, and then obviously let's dive into coverages and fronts and blitzes and learn as much as we can. Knowledge is power. Physical conditioning is a must for top mental alertness. So this is big for me because when you're tired, you don't think. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. When you're tired, you're not thinking well, and you're going to make a mistake. So that's why we want to be in great shape. Physical conditioning comes from hard work, proper diet, and sufficient rest. I talk to the guys about their diets, and again, in college it's a lot easier, probably, maybe not. Maybe in high school you guys have the ability to help watch what they eat, but I know we have a nutritionist, we have strength coaches. They do a tremendous job now teaching these guys how to eat right. And the big thing for me is rest. These guys stay up late, they play video games, they do whatever, and that's what young people do. So talking to them about getting their sleep. Conditioning plays a large part in the injury factor and your ability to bounce back from hits as well. It takes great dedication to implement all the above qualities, and then be dedicated to being a champion. Unselfishness, sacrifice personal gains will be measured on how many wins your team accumulates, not by statistics. I tell them all the time, you're like the head coach, man. You get judged by wins and losses, and really that's about it. So you get too much credit when we win, and you get too much blame when we lose, just like the head coach does too. And that's the job we all signed up for. If you don't want to do it, then might want to move to a different position group. But this is the world we live in, and find a way to help your team win. And that can, again, by implementing all the above qualities we talked about. And the last thing is emotional stability. Okay, have the ability to bounce back from a bad play. Don't let one bad play lead to two, bad practice or a bad game. And we Coach Loxley has a term that he uses that I really have kind of adopted. He talks about back to neutral mentality. That's emotional stability for me. Back to neutral. No matter what happened the play before, I'm back to neutral, and we're playing the next play. And the other thing about this, I'm going to get into this more later too, is the ability to handle success as well. I think obviously handling adversity is something we all talk about, but at this position, really teaching guys and talking to guys about handling the success part of it is a big deal. And that goes back to just, you could be hit 4 in a row in a game and you get arrogant, and then you think you're going to fit that next one in, and it makes it, and that inability to handle success causes you to make a big mistake in a game. And then even bigger than that, you've had a few good games, and now maybe that celebrity quarterback starts to creep in, and we maybe don't think we need to do the same preparation during the week because I've been playing so good. I don't need to watch extra tape like I did last Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm going to go do this instead. I played pretty good last 3 weeks. I'll be good. And then all that's going to do is lead us into to have a bad day, and we don't want to have that. So, handle success and also be able to handle adversity with his emotional stability. Next one, Tim. So here's some things before I get into the pure QB development expectations that I go over with these guys. And this comes right from my quarterback manual that I as I mentioned earlier, that I go over with these guys 3 or 4 times a year. The first thing is ball security. Never put the ball in jeopardy. I'll talk about this down here a little bit, but just don't throw and hope. Be aggressive, not careless. But that's our job. That's our number one job. Be the example. Lead the team. Hardest worker, most disciplined, best condition. And none of those things I just said take any ability to lead, to be a hard worker, to be disciplined, to be great condition. You don't need to have great ability to do those things. You just got to have great will and want to. Make plays, find a way, no excuses. It's a tough deal when you're coaching a guy and there's always an excuse why it didn't happen. Well, coach, I thought the receiver, came out of his break too soon. I thought he was an outside release on that. The guard coach, I couldn't see. The tight end didn't do this, or those are not good. Those are red flags for me when I hear young high school kids, quarterbacks talk about things, about whether it's practice, a game, and there's just a lot of excuses. And I've coached kids in college like this too, and they usually weren't very successful. But find a way to get it done, no excuses, and just do your job as best you can. And just don't come up with excuses. And I think that's a bad quality with a guy, to be honest with you. Move the ball and score. That's your job. Move the ball. Get a first down. Okay. I love when we have scrimmages and I'm doing reps and we got competitions going. And how many reps am I going to get today, coach? I'm going to say, well, you're going to try to get you the same as the other guy. But let me tell you something. If you go out there and go 3 and out with your reps and that other guy has a 7-8 play drive 4 times, you ain't going to get as many reps as him. Okay. So get a first down. And I know, again, well, I didn't coach because I didn't, the guy calling the plays didn't do, okay. So there we go back to number 3. I got an excuse, right? I couldn't move the team because I didn't get the right play calls. Well, these are all red flags for me on guys that aren't successful. And as I talked to you guys about earlier, I've coached a lot of guys that have played in the National Football League, and I've coached guys that are still playing. And I've coached great players that never played in the National Football League. And they didn't have these characteristics, I'll tell you that. So let me give you guys some things I've come up with over the years. The first thing is I have this sign. I had this sign in my room with the guys at Arkansas and Central Michigan, and I put it up at Alabama, I think. And anyway, but it says a great quarterback is the mind of a coach and the game of a player. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a guy that's a player that loves to compete and loves to, grind, but he's got the mind of a coach. He's thinking like you are when it's 3rd and 6. Okay. He's thinking, he knows when it's 3rd and 9, you call a quarterback draw, there's a good chance that the head coach told you got 4 downs now. So you're just trying to get 3rd and 9 becomes 2nd and 9. When you got four downs, just things like that, just understanding the game, the way it's played, the situational football, understanding the psyche of trying to help other players on the team grow in certain areas, having conversations with guys on the side to help motivate them, like a coach would do. So that's that. And then this next thing is I think that these are we call these our quarterback commandments. Okay. There are 4 quarterback commandments. The first one is never make a premeditated throw or decision. I do believe that having played this position, I played this position from fifth grade all the way through college, and I've coached it for pretty much 30 years. This is your number one thing you're dealing with, your number one demon. These guys that premeditate what they're going to do before the ball snaps, man. This is a game played by human beings. We play off defensive players reacting, and they all react different. Every play is different. And just because it happened last time, it usually means that it's not going to happen the same the next time. So as much as we can talk to these guys about, never make a premeditated decision or throw. Find your movement key, let it happen, react and read, and don't make up your mind. I mean, I've done this as a player. I've seen guys do it, and it's a battle. It's a battle, but we'll talk about it. You know, that's my opinion. Never make a blind throw. Okay, which you can't see them, relocate. You know, your coach is on you. Throw the ball. I couldn't see him. And you know, there might be a flat defender out there you don't see either. Okay, never throw the ball late over the middle. Okay, that's you know, doesn't need an explanation. And then the last thing is never throw and hope. Okay, you know, that throw where you throw it and then you're like, I hope that works out okay. You know, so we say be aggressive, not careless. There's a big difference. I never want to coach the aggressiveness out of these guys, man. I think, you know, if you start coaching the aggressiveness out of them, you're going to not get big plays, and you're going to get a lot of check downs, and never want to do that. But golly, let's talk about the difference between being aggressive and being careless. And I would say the most important 6 inches a quarterback has are there's 6 inches between your ears, and that's your brain, man. So as much as we can do to develop that, we're going to do it. Okay, Tim. Okay, QB development. Okay, there's 3 major areas in development. Okay, we talked about these already: the physical development, the mental, and the emotional development. And I think these things need to be developed. And I'm going to go into these things here in detail here in a moment. Okay. In order to develop as a quarterback, you must maintain the following attributes. First off, you got to have a personal commitment to excellence. Okay. So like in my line of work, I coach college quarterbacks. And if I coach a guy that doesn't want to play in the National Football League, I'm like, I don't really want to coach that guy. I want a guy that's his goal. His goal is to be great. His goal is to be elite. His goal is to be the best. Because I think if you get a guy that makes that personal commitment, you're going to get the best out of him. A willingness to pay the price for success. Okay, to sacrifice time, to sacrifice fun sometimes, to sacrifice normalness, to work and do the things that it takes to be successful. And that a guy that has the consistent sight on the main objective, and that is to do what it takes to help our football team win. Okay, that's the main objective, not to, you know, throw for yards or, you know, throw for touchdowns or whatever. If that helps us win, then so be it. That's a byproduct of it. But you know what? We're here to win, and we got to do what we have to do to help our team win. Okay, next, Timbo. Okay, the physical development. You know, here's some things that we try to develop. Okay, and a lot of this stuff happens in the off season, but their quickness. I think short area quickness is more important than speed. You know, at this position, you know, the ability to get from A to B is very, very important. It's probably more beneficial than being fast. Agility. Speed, obviously, we do want that, and I obviously want to develop that as best we can. Overall strength, just the overall strength of his body, his core, his lower body, your wrists and forearms for throwing the ball, your grip, all those things are going to help you become a better passer, maybe have better arm strength or be more accurate. And you know, we have specific workouts the guys do. I'm not going to get into all that, but then there's like certain core things I want them to do for their abs, because your abs are so involved in your torque and throwing the ball, and medicine ball workouts to make sure that we're loose and we're flexible in our core area. So, you know, that's very important, strength. And then accuracy and touch, you know, our physical development. And to me, you know, I'm a firm believer that, you know, your eyes and feet, you know, are if you want to be accurate, okay, where are my eyes going? You know, I mean, I see so many guys that peek at the ball as the ball leaves their hands. Well, you're not, when you peek at the ball, you're not looking at the target. And, you know, if you want to be really accurate, you need to keep your eyes on the target. Pitchers don't take a peek at the baseball when they release it. So don't be a peeker. We all do it because we want to see if it's a spiral. Well, who cares if it's a spiral at this point? You want to be accurate. You're going to keep your eyes right on the spot you're trying to throw the ball. And we train that from the moment we start warming up through practice, through all of our individual drills, that we don't peek at the ball, and especially on deep balls. And when your eyes go up to the ball, you lose depth perception. You lose a lot of things that happen, and you're not going to be near as accurate as a thrower. And then the other thing I say is feet, and that you throw with your feet and your lower body balance and your foot placement, and where your hips are open or not open, and being on your balls of your feet and not being on your toes. And these things are so important with accuracy and touch. And then, you know, touch, control the ball, be a passer, not a thrower. I mean, I do drills during warmups. We throw over these nets. We have them at 8 feet high. We're 5 yards from them, and we throw over the top of them every single day. And then we do level 2 ball throw, trajectory balls every single day, just to teach these guys, to get them to, so it's a part of their DNA, and how to get the ball over a defender and underneath a defender, and throw the ball with touch, being able to control the football, you know, master the ball. I tell them, you know, you put the ball where you want to put the ball. Okay. And these are things that are not just, hey, throw it there. We have drills, and we develop that physical side of how they play. And this is drilled through practice. Next, arm strength. Okay. How do we do that? Arm speed. We have a power trajectory routine we do with them, where we overtax the arm in the off season, just like sprinters sprint. We try to throw the ball hard, and we try to throw the ball far, and we try to develop and speed up our arm, because that's how you can get better arm strength. You know, to go along with all the other things we talked about as far as their core strength and all those things that are involved as well. But we have specific routines we do with them to develop their arm strength. And then we have things we do physically to develop their throwing mechanics, their upper body throwing mechanics, and their lower body throwing mechanics. Okay. And so there's certain thing in the upper body, certain motor skills that we try to enhance, that we try to enhance every day, the arm speed, the arm angle, follow through, those things. And then lower body, their pocket posture. Like, I'm trying to put them in every position possible that they're going to be in a game. That's my job. That, you know, if we're in the pocket, yeah, we're in our passing stance, we're going to try to maintain that passing stance the entire time. If I got to relocate right, relocate left, step up hard, whatever it is, I keep my eyes down the field. I keep the integrity of the route on as I'm moving in the pocket with 2 hands on the ball. Okay. And the other things that occur is I may have to hitch, go and throw. I may have to escape right. I may have to escape left. I may have to go up and out right, up and out left. So all the things that can happen, I try to look at, and then I try to mimic that with drills, because I want to put them in these positions in practice so that when it happens to them in a game, their body has done it before and they can react naturally, and they're able to be successful because I put them in that position before. And if I haven't, I try to come up with a drill that does. If a guy is put in a situation, I've done this over the years, you know, the guy got put in this situation, I'm like, I never worked that before, so I'm going to make that a drill, and we're going to start doing it. And then speaking of drill work, I really have 3 areas that I categorize all my drills. One works on their throwing mechanics and touch. Okay, so certain drills that are designed to enhance, you know, arm angle, to enhance arm speed, to enhance trajectory throwing, You know, those things. The next area is pocket posture. So just like we talked about, I have a whole set of movement drills that we do that are designed to put them in different positions again in practice, so that if they have to do it in a game, their body's done it before and they react without thinking, and it's become part of their DNA and they just do it naturally. That's, to me, this is an instinctive game. Quarterback, it's played on instincts. You've either built those instincts in practice through your reps and what you've done, or you haven't. And sometimes as a coach, it's hard to look at it sometimes, and I go, that's not that guy's fault, that's my fault. We didn't do that enough. And then the third area of my drill work is decision-making drills. So there'll be some sort of defender or somebody there, and you have to make a decision, whether we're throwing a high-low, 4 verts, horizontal stretch, or I just make them go open, closed, signals, but I make them have to make some sort of a decision. So the drill work is really mechanics and touch drills, pocket posture drills, decision-making drills. I've got them all categorized, and I try to pick a couple a day that we need to work on, and we work on those drills based on really what the quarterbacks need at that time. So if we're not doing this well, we'll do this, and then the pocket posture, that just might be like screen drill. Like we're working on slow screens, okay? Might be nakeds, play action nakeds, because we're not doing a very good job with our ball fakes, or coming out and getting our head around and finding the DN, and having to adjust our body and arm angle to get the ball up and over a defensive end, or whatever those things are. That's your pocket posture drills. So next, Tim. Okay, that's physical development. The mental development, okay. Our philosophy, this is big with me, is just win Monday through Friday. JWMF. And here's what I tell them. I said, listen, guys, if we come in here and we bust our butts Monday through Friday, I give these guys a checklist they have to do, really Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, a checklist of video they have to watch, and they have to write me a report on what they've seen. It keeps them on track, keeps them on schedule. I got it organized. So as we move through the week, Tuesday's normal down and distance, Wednesday's goal line or red zone and third down, and Thursday's coming out and 2-minute. So anyway, I build it that way, but they're doing the work extra. And then the way we practice and the way I meet with them, we tell them we're going to win Monday through Friday. And then Saturday, you should wake up, have no anxiety. You should not be worried about anything. You should I said, all you got to do now is just do the very best you can. So if we do what we're supposed to do Monday through Friday, Saturdays will take care of themselves. You just do the very best you can on Saturday, and we can live with the outcome. The outcome is usually going to be pretty good because you did what you needed to do Monday through Friday. I said, tell them. But I said, if you skip steps during the week, though, you're going to walk into Saturday and you're going to have some anxiety. You're going to be worried. And you're going to be anxious. And, you didn't do the same thing you did last week. Why not? Because you got lazy, because you got arrogant, because you got complacent, whatever those things are. But let's really be hard on a Monday through Friday and make Saturday fun. And I heard this a long time ago. It makes sense to me, but I sell to these guys, or tell these guys, that the secret to a person's success lies in their daily agenda. So if you set goals and you want to be a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, or a starting quarterback, or an all Big Ten quarterback, those are your goals. Excuse me. Well, before you go to bed at night, you can go through your list of what you did today to achieve those goals. And if you didn't do anything, then don't complain about it when you're not the starting quarterback, or you're not all Big Ten, or you're not the Heisman Trophy winner, or whatever those things are. So, if you have goals, you write them down and then you attack them. Okay. And then you look at it on a daily basis on what did I do to achieve those goals. And if I didn't do anything to help me achieve those goals, then I've got to change what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. Preparation takes what? Takes focus, okay, on the task at hand. It takes mental toughness to prepare, okay, because you're going to have to do it when your friends don't want to do it and nobody else wants to do it. And you're going to have to do it after a bad game. You're going to have to do it. And after a good game, you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to make yourself do it. Okay, it takes accountability. to yourself and to your teammates. And then it takes discipline, just like we talked about earlier, determining what you have to do. Okay, do it when it has to be done, doing it the best way you know how, and doing it that way all the time. But that's what preparation takes. And when you're doing it, it takes great focus while you're doing it. You're not just in there going, checking the box. Well, coach told me to watch this, so I'm watching it. Well, that doesn't do us any good. Let's focus. That's why I try to make them write things down and having opinions on things like, what do you like? What do you think's good here? Why do you think it's good there? And try to give them some ownership and some accountability. Okay, next. Okay, line of scrimmage mechanics. Okay, see a little, see a lot. Okay, see a lot, see a little. So if you just come up and see everything, you're not seeing nothing, in my opinion. So we have a routine we go through. So we ID the front first. So I walk up, okay, get the signal from the sideline, I look and I ID the front. Is it 4 down, odd, or bear? Really, those are the 3 families, right? You got all the different 4 downs. You got under, you got over, you got split, you got 2 3s, 2 1s, 2 whatever. But it's 4 down, it's odd. Okay, so 4 down, 1 guard's uncovered. Odd, both guards are uncovered. And bear, the center, and both guards are covered. So I'm going to identify the front, then I'm going to ID the mic. For us, the mic is based off a scheme. Okay, so we're going 4 down, Mike's right. And then I look at my boundary triangle, which is the outside linebacker, corner, and safety. Boy, they're going to tell me a lot, man. I'm looking at body language. I'm looking at depth. I'm looking at leverage, all that good stuff. I go to my field triangle, which is the nickel, the corner, and the field safety. And then I always scan back to the boundary. We think that the boundary safety, a lot of times in college football, has the keys to the castle. So that boundary safety is going to tell us really, really a lot about possible corner blitz, possible about field pressure, possible cover 2, possible, a lot of things that occur. That boundary safety is going to help us. So that's our line of scrimmage mechanics that we try to go through. And again, this is to help their mental side. Next. Okay, the passing game, their responsibilities are really when I install a pass, for example, every pass I install like this. What package is it in? Okay, and they have to be able to regurgitate this back to me. So, it's in our 4 vertical package. It's in our horizontal stretch package. It's in our smash package. It's in our shot package. It's in our pure progression package. So what package is this pass in? What's my clock? Which means what's my drop? Okay, is it we start under center or work back to gun? What's my progression? Is it read or key? A read progression pass is a pass that's always read the same, 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, no matter what the coverage. A key progression pass is a pass that my progression starts based on a key from the defense. So, for example, a middle open, I might start here. Middle closed, I might start there. If it's man, I might start here. Zone there. Okay, who's my movement key? So every play, we give these guys a movement key. A defender, they're keen on the snap. Okay, so again, see a little, see a lot. And then protection. Is my hop built in? Do I need a sight adjust? Okay, whatever those things may occur, but what's the protection on this particular concept? Okay, next. Okay, and then 5 is really knowledge. Okay, when I understand our offense and I understand defensive structure, okay, knowledge is power. It gives us our best chance to make smart, quick decisions. It gives us ability to get out of a bad play. Like when a quarterback can get us out of a bad run because he understands numbers and counts and all that. I mean, that's huge for our football team. And again, they learn that by just learning football. Okay, next. Okay, emotional, side of it. And again, to me, this is, the ability to handle 2 things, adversity and handle success. And again, I mentioned that earlier, but to me, that's really, really big, both of these. Usually handling adversity, I can be honest with you, I feel like over the years it's easier because when there's adversity, they're upset and mad, they're embarrassed about the way they played or what happened. And they're going to I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen again. And they got that chip on their shoulder, but you want that chip on their shoulder every week, that same chip. And I don't know how to create that. I try to, but that's what we're trying to do. And then handle success is harder again. These guys don't allow them to get complacent. They get arrogant. Arrogance leads to complacency. I don't need to do that this week. I'm playing pretty good. Maybe, I'll skip that this week. And, handling success, can be difficult. And also, you talk about celebrity quarterbacks and things like that. We discussed that already, but I think this is good to talk about with them. And then we have a back to neutral philosophy. So every play, every day, every practice, every game, it's back to neutral, man. What do we got to do to win this week? What do I got to do to win today? What do I got to do to win this meeting? This meeting right now that we're going through is the most important thing we're doing. Okay. The passion. You want to coach guys that have great passion. The spirit of the team comes from its quarterback. I've said that earlier, but just a passion to be great, a passion to compete. And then leadership, the ability to positively influence and affect the actions of others to better themselves and the team. Okay, so the ability to positively influence and affect the actions of others to better themselves. Okay, I think that's a secret sauce right there a little bit. You can get a guy or guys to have conversations with guys on the side, encourage people, talk to guys. Sometimes it's challenging a little bit. Like, yeah, you know what? The coach is all right, man. You're not giving great effort. This or that. Just not doing it in a negative way, but be truthful with them. Sometimes that comes better coming from their peers. You can lead by example, obviously, and you lead within your own personality. I think those are very important. Okay, next. Okay, and then competitiveness, a quality that enables you to perform at your best when the pressure's on, man. I'll tell you what, this is all the great ones I've been around, they all have this. They're fiery, they're feisty, they're competitive, they want to win the drills, they take things personally when they don't go well. I mean, I don't mind when a guy gets upset and mad when stuff isn't going well. I do too, as a coach. We don't play well on offense, or the quarterbacks don't play well. I'm in a bad mood. I'm not fun to be around. I take it personal. Like, people say, why are you taking it personal? Because it's personal. I put my heart and soul in this deal, man. You put your heart and soul into it, and you compete, and it doesn't go well. It's not easy sometimes. And so the guys I've been around that are really, really good, they're fiercely competitive. So we try to bring that out in them in a positive way. And then attitude, again, this is your habit of thinking and choices you make. Your habit of thinking, like get in a good habit, having positive thoughts, and your attitude will affect what you are each day and the people around you. Nobody wants to be around somebody that has got a negative or bad attitude. So, again, guys come in the room every day. I try to, encourage them, try to get them in the right frame of mind for practice. That's my job as a position coach. Number one job as a position coach. Make sure my guys are in the right frame of mind to practice and play. Okay. So guys are good. They're good. Guys come in, there's a guy down, his head's down. He's not responding. I'm going to talk to him on the side and try to help him, And again, I tell them to do that with me as a coach. And then the last thing is determination. This is your refusal to quit. I don't think we talk about this enough. Maybe I'm old school. I'm an old school coach. I don't think we talk about just sheer determination anymore. Just that's who wins. That's guys who win. That's guys that are successful. Your grit, your determination, your toughness, your just who's the more determined team, who's the more determined player, who's the more determined coaching staff, and you instill that into your position group, which will affect the entire team. And I really think that's an unbelievable quality, and one that I've been around a lot of really good quarterbacks that had. Okay, with that being said, Timbo, I'm going to stop there and take questions. See if there's any questions. I've gone. I think we got about 6 minutes left.
And coaches, you guys can type your question into the chat for Coach to answer.
And put everybody to sleep. No questions?
All right, Coach. Well, I guess there's no questions. I can let you get on your way. Oh, yep. Oh, here's one. How often are you looking to build in time with your QB and scheme?
Um, well, I think as much time as you can. You know, we're limited by our rules by how much we can meet with them during the week, during the season and out of season. But I think as much as you can, you know, without overkill. But I know, like my guys, they'll always come in extra, and they're always asking for extra. Um, you know, I think obviously if you got the right group of guys, um, you know, it'll be more. You know, like this group I had this year was unbelievable, and they were always like, you know, Coach, can we come in the morning? Coach, can we start early tomorrow? Coach, you know, whatever we had to do to get things done, they were all willing to do it. But I think if you don't want to, you know, make it, you know, boring or make it too strenuous on them, but give them pieces here, give them pieces there. That's why, like during that quarterback manual thing there, I may give them only just 2 paragraphs today, and then we have a position meeting, and then when they come in the next time, I give them another paragraph, and then we start our position meeting. I might start the meeting with that. I try to like start the meeting with some sort of, you know, emotional or motivational type thing or a piece. If I read an article about a great quarterback or something I think is pertinent, I'll bring that in sometimes and share it with them. But as much as they can handle, I think is great for them. Is there another one on there? Question?
Yes, it says, how do you handle a quarterback who may struggle with his confidence? How would you build him up?
You know, I think trying to do things that I know this sounds crazy, do things that are easy for him. And then if he's doing things that are easy for him, he's going to have success, hopefully, and then you can compliment him. And then when you're complimenting him in front of the team, that's going to build his status and build his confidence. And, you know, like me and Coach Loxley, we always talk about, like, if our guy's struggling, how do we get him back? Like, do you have certain plays you'd like to go to? I think it's really important to get a guy in the flow of the game. And that might just be bubble screens. It might be nakeds. It might be, you know, just quick, easy throws, screen passes, just something where he can get it out. Maybe, you know, like I know our guy, Talia, sometimes he likes to run. So we might just throw a quarterback run in there because that gets him back on track if he's struggling a little bit. So find out what he likes to do, find out what gets him going. And if you feel like you're losing him a little bit in practice or a game, maybe try to go to some of those things.
All right, Coach. Unfortunately, I have to go ahead and cut this short, but I appreciate you coming out and giving us a great talk.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me. And, you know, like I'm sure Coach Loxley mentioned, but we're open. We're open and we're accessible. If you guys ever want to come to campus, spring practice, whatever that may be, just let us know.
Yes, sir. Go Terps. Have a great offseason, Coach.
Thank you.